Hey, and welcome back to Chasing Roost. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to install a seat cover on your dirt bike. Now, this seat cover is actually in pretty decent shape. There's a little rip over here, but other than that, it works fine. This is actually the seat cover that was on this tall seat when I bought it, and then I just covered it up with an orange seat cover to match my old color scheme. Whenever I redid the color scheme, I took the old orange seat cover off, and I wanted to try something new. Something I've been wanting to try for a little while is the Guts Racing winged seat cover. And so basically in this area right here where your knees would contact the bike, it has these protrusions out here, so a wing is what they call it, that just gives you more room to grip on. Because we know that these KTMs, the Austrian bikes, and really most bikes on the market nowadays, this area, they try to keep the whole bike really narrow. And for me particularly, my legs are really long, so my knees end up being somewhere kind of at the top of this seat cover, where I don't really have much contact patch anyways. So I'm hoping that that little extra space will kind of make this squared off, allow me to have more control over the bike. So I'm really excited to try that out. Even if you're not installing a wing seat cover and just a standard seat cover, stick around. Almost everything in this video is going to apply. The processes are the same, the tools are the same. So let's get into it. There's a few tools that you'll need to do this process. You'll need a staple gun. This is an air-powered staple gun. You can find these for like 50 bucks on Amazon or less. Obviously, the downside is that you have to use air for this. I know that there's some electric staple guns on the market. They might work as well. What I found is that a standard regular staple gun, even this one's got an extra spring-loaded tension on it, helps it to drive in further. These guys, in my experience, don't work super great. If you can see this right here, zoom in here. So it doesn't hold that staple in straight. It may look like that staple's in there, but it's barely in there and it mostly just folded in on itself. So that's not gonna do the trick for us. So that's why I try to stay away from these types of staple guns. Some pliers, these are needle nose, a small screwdriver. That's if you need to pull some staples out. You also need staples that fit your staple gun. These are a 5/16, also an 8mm, it's the same thing. These guys right here, what I found with a 5/16 is it's just about the right length. You go any longer than that, you'll risk going through the seat base, through the foam, all the way through the seat cover on the top side. Obviously you don't want that. Any shorter than that, sometimes it's hard to get them to stick, especially if they're having to go through a fold or something like that to try to hold that down. So 5/16 is what I would recommend. Now we have to decide what to do with the old seat cover. Are we gonna leave it on or are we gonna take it off? If you're gonna take it off, it's really simple. You just go in, dig out all the staples. It's kind of a process. It's not that big a deal. It may leave you a little bit nicer end result. For example, this particular seat cover here has a pattern right here. It's like a little raised patch kind of thing. So that will slightly show through the new seat cover. I'm a big proponent of leaving the stock seat cover on as long as it doesn't have like major ribs or things like that that's really noticeable. Thing flies in here, man. I want to be on camera too. Okay, you're gonna die. Dead. So I'm gonna be leaving this one on here. Now actually this one bailed me out last time. I pulled the orange seat cover off. I've been running this one for maybe a month or so as it is while I was just waiting for time to get this video together. So if I didn't have the seat cover under here, I would have had to put something back on here or not been able to run this seat or had to run the old orange seat cover for longer. I know it's kind of superficial things, but it is what it is. These newer KTMs, they have this plastic piece here, which is held on by a snap ring. So then you take some snap ring pliers and remove this so you can get that piece off. Pretty easy. It just comes off like that. A little bit of a funny story. I actually ordered this seat cover once before. When they sent it to me, it was actually for the standard seat. Not a really big deal. Actually, you guys are gonna get the benefit from that. I went to send it back to them and they were like, hey, just give that away on your channel. So some details in the description below on how to get that. It's gonna fit the 23, 24, 25 generations KTM, only standard seat height. So if that's something you're interested in, go over to my Instagram, shoot me a message. That's just Chasing Roost on Instagram. So shoot me a message, I'll get that over to you, no big deal. So kind of cool thing. Continuous United States, I don't wanna pay shipping, that's crazy. It's free for you. I'm gonna do a test fit before I start stapling. So you can see what we're looking at here. What makes this unique is this area right here on the sidewall. And if you can kind of see, that's kind of tapered in. It's kind of like a wedge shape. So a little thinner at the top, thicker at the bottom, kind of squares that seat up a little bit. And maybe an inch thick actually towards the bottom. So it gives you a lot more contact patch. We've got ribs across the top, it's a nice gripping material. So should look really sharp, but also very functional. Another nice thing about this is it is a fitted seat cover. So it's designed to be the same shape as that seat. You don't have to do a lot of folding or stretching. For the most part, it should be pretty much ready to staple on. And since it's fitted right here, it helps to line itself up a lot easier. So you'll staple right through that area. You don't have to do any trimming or anything like that. Should be a pretty easy process. Stretch this seat cover into place. We're gonna do a test run on this. Make sure that it fits before we start throwing staples into it. So just put it over the front, the back. Testing the sides, make sure they're long enough. And this thing's looking pretty good. Yeah, I did a test fit on the other one and I was like, oh, I think we messed up. No big deal. Okay, so that looks really good. What I'm doing first is making sure that this top section is aligned. I want to make sure that we're the same on both sides of this. So it is, it looks good. Flip that over. I'm going to run a couple staples in here. And what you'll notice is I'm not going around and just putting every staple in all the way around in order. I'm actually going to do the front, I'll do the back, we'll come back in, we'll do the sides, and then we'll work our way out. So the reason I do that is when you put the front in place, well, now this area is locked into place, but if I had to adjust it, I don't have a million staples in there. And then I'll lock the back into place, so that way my alignment stays pretty straight. And then from there, I'm just stretching it out, doing a little bit on each side as I go. That way I don't end up with the seat cover off to one side real bad. So trying to do it symmetrically. We'll go to the back section, make sure that this area is aligned. This is key to making sure that your seat cover is on there straight. A little staple here. We'll fold over, get this knee area in place. Also, what's cool with the fitted seat covers, you can really see where it's supposed to be. You'll roll over a little bit, and then it's a pretty easy guide, whereas a lot of times you have to make sure that you line up on a seam. It can be quite difficult sometimes. So, pulling it tight. I'm gonna run a couple staples in. And then we're going to follow up and do that on the same thing on the other side. Just going to set things symmetrically. When you're stretching, what helps is you'll just grab it with your thumbs, fingers on the seat, and just stretch it like that. Nice and easy. Okay. Something that I've noticed is with these ribbed seat covers like this, they will tend to hold the material a little bit more, so it's easier to get wrinkles in here. So you have to be extra proactive to make sure that you stretch that out nicely. Sometimes you may have to add just a little bit of heat to get that to form. There's a couple tricks of the trade like that. But right now, we're gonna go through, we're gonna make sure that both sides are pulled tight. And what you do to one side, just do to the other side. All right, there's a few things on the seat cover that I do want to fix. So I've got a little bit of wrinkles along here. Not pulled super tight there. A little bit of wrinkling right here. I suspect that has to do with, since there's a pocket right here for this wing, Just not really noticeable, but if I wanted to fix that, what I'm gonna be doing here is just pulling out some of these staples, pulling it tighter and stapling it back. Simple as that. If you didn't have a fitted seat cover, I'd highly recommend you going with some scissors or a sharp blade, cut off some of the excess, make sure you leave a little bit of space for the staples to still have something to grab onto. But you want to cut off some of that excess so that way the seat can still sit down on its base onto the frame like it's supposed to. Otherwise it'll be sitting up weird or you may not be able to get it lined back up. This is by far one of the easiest seat covers that I've ever had to install. Really like how it's fitted. You don't have to do a lot of cutting or trimming. I like how it's kicked out here. I can already feel that I have a lot more grip over the bike in that area, so I'm excited for that. Good looking seat cover, looks like high quality, easy to install. If you're in the market for a new seat cover, check out Guts Racing. This thing's pretty awesome. They've got different styles available. You can customize the colors, whatever you want, they can do it. So check them out if that's something you're interested in. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, remember to hit subscribe, hit like, hit the notification bell so you get reminded whenever I post new stuff. We'll see you later. Keep chasing Roost.